So we're here with Dirk from Nikon, and we're here talking about the Z or Z7 and Z6. Yes. Right here in front of us, we actually have the Z7, correct, which is a camera that everybody's just been waiting for. And now that a lot of the news has settled, people are really like excited about these cameras. Yep. Your booth is just popping. Nikon has been in development of this whole mirrorless system, I'm sure, for several years now, right? And it's finally happened. We finally have it, and we've got these lenses here, which are fabulous. I mean, the 35-1.8, we've got a 50-1.8, and then the 24-70, and then of course the 50, the
58 0.95.
So yeah, that one's gonna be pretty amazing. Surprise! I have a new outfit on. But we are here looking at the Noct lens. This is a 58mm 0.95, and I had no idea that this lens was gonna be this freaking big. This lens is actually like the size of a 70-200. Like, it's half the length, but it's definitely like the width of a 70-200 lens. This lens is massive, but it's also one of a kind, full frame, 58mm 0.95 on the new Z series cameras. This is gonna be a really interesting lens. Definitely not something that I would wanna own, particularly because it's such a niche thing, but maybe something that you would rent for a really specialized shoot. So interesting to see a lens like this, and to see it in person, it is just massive. But there's some features on these cameras that just aren't on other cameras. One being 10-bit 4K out in full frame.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the Canon's doing it, but they're cropping in on the image, and it's just so annoying. And we've got the Ninja here. You guys have worked with Atomos, the Ninja 5 here for video shooters, and this paired with the Nikon is just going to be a match made in heaven. It's also got phase detect on sensor with the autofocus.
Well, in terms of using it, it's pretty much, it's a Nikon, right? So you take it into your hands.
It feels so much better than a Sony.
It's very well, but it's, no, all good. You can do that. That's ergonomics, sorry.
It's got great ergonomics. It's so great. It feels like butter, if that's the right word for it. I'm going to be honest, I grew up on a Canon. I didn't use a Nikon, and so you know, I'm not used to the layout. Yeah. But as I'm looking it through, I mean, it would probably just take a couple hours to get used to it. One of my favorite things here is the switch between photo and video. For us as YouTubers, we're constantly taking pictures for the thumbnails, for Instagram, but then we want to click over to video. I mean, this is instant, and I would imagine that it's going to save your settings on both, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't have to change my shutter speed between, you know, I want to shoot a higher shutter for photo.
Also, very nicely, ease of use is actually this small joystick, whatever you want to call it here.
Nipple, that's what I call it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If you, little flick and a twist.
If you, for example, are have an interview situation and want to change the face priority, so to say, from one to the other, you simply twist it to one side and then it goes to the other side. You can also tap on the screen. Yeah,
I'm seeing here that's already something that I prefer over the Sony. I mean, I begrudgingly went to an A7 because it was just the only full frame 4K camera I could get, but it doesn't have this type of tracking that's wonderful. Yeah, so I tap the screen. We'll get a shot of this. Yeah. But basically I can just tap an object and it tracks onto that, just like what I'm used to on Canon. But it's here in full frame in 4K. Obviously the Z7 is probably geared more for photographers. We have a higher resolution here.
True. I mean, actually we also say that the Z6 is much more geared towards video than the Z7. Just also in terms of data you have to crunch actually inside the camera. We are coming from 8K here and outputting a 4K full frame.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to take.
So you're going to have some more rolling shutter potentially with this?
The rolling, due to that fact, actually the rolling shutter effect is slightly stronger. So the Z6 is actually much better in this regard.
I would also imagine for low light too, because the megapixels are smaller, maybe better.
So with the ISO, the native ISO is higher, a full stop higher than on this camera.
Okay.
And on the Z6 we have full pixel readout.
Wow.
Oversampling from 6K to 4K.
Beautiful.
On full frame.
What are the internal video options on this? It's an 8-bit 420, right?
It's 8-bit 420. It's a motion JPEG. It's an H.264.
Really? I didn't know motion JPEG was an option.
It is actually. Yeah, the output in the end is MP4 or MOV, the container.
Okay, so that's where this comes into play.
Yes.
And you guys have completely given you know, the Ninja 5, everything that, you know, that they want. We get 10-bit 422 or 444?
No, 422.
That's still, still great. Why the one card slot? I have to ask it. A lot of people are going to ask.
Yeah, sure. Nikon was starting the game of the double slots as one of the first manufacturers.
Yeah, they were.
The reason was that at that time, the media or the cards were not that reliable.
Okay.
We talk about today. CF cards, they had these tiny pins which easily broke or bent. Well, we introduced the first camera with XQD was the D4 actually, and our experience with XQD and also together with the pro photographers but also filmers using this card were amazingly well. It's super fast. It's still the fastest, one of the fastest.
400 megabits per second.
Exactly, which you get on the market now. And not to forget, the second reason is that next spring we have CF Express on the market. There will be several manufacturers starting CF
in this camera?
In this camera.
Wow.
With a firmware update, you'll have CF Express compatibility.
I didn't know that.
And then we speak about 1 terabyte read and write. That's at least that's the standard.
Holy Moses!
So the first cards might be slower than 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
But
that's still amazing.
Looking forward, it's future proofness. And the reliability is just top. So
I've never worked in a professional environment with the XQD, so I'm excited to use that. We've got headphone mic input, we've got the mini HDMI, USB-C. I'm glad to see that because none of the Mac laptops have an SD card reader anymore, and they're certainly not going to have an XQD card reader on the laptop, so you can just plug it straight in. You've got some great adapters. You know, you got an adapter for the old Nikon mount.
We have the F2Z, we call it FTZ adapter, F2Z.
If
you speak it in full, which basically makes it compatible to all the Nikon lenses from 15-20 years.
The face tracking works and everything?
Face tracking will work flawlessly.
Are these focused by wire lenses?
All of them are focused by wire, and
can you go linear with the focusing?
And not yet.
Okay.
We're working on that. So linear throw is, so to say, in the firmware role. But what is interesting about all the lenses which come from this Nikkor S class, they are compensating focus breathing. So
interesting.
Every zoom, which is a Nikon S zoom, are very focal. So you zoom, the focus point will stay where it is.
Nice, parfocal.
Exactly. So whatever we have, all these lenses have what we call multi-focusing system, helping to make this possible.
Overall, this is one of the most complete mirrorless systems, and it's just now getting started. You know, a lot of photographers will be wanting more and more lenses, and I know that you guys know that.
Yeah.
Because of course, you know, no photographer wants only 2 or 3 options.
No.
But that's why the adapter's good. But that's not a real solution, right?
No, not in the long run. But you know, we have released this roadmap of lenses, and you see a lot of lenses on which are all Nikkor S lenses on that roadmap which we publish. But there are more lenses. That roadmap coming in the next years.
I think this is real exciting, and I for one am excited to test the color science. Nikon has wonderful color science, and Sony doesn't. So I'm excited to see what it looks like in comparison, and we're definitely going to be doing some tests. Well, here it is, Z7 and Z6 coming soon. Thank you, Dirk, so much for your time.
Thank you.
Real exciting system from Nikon, and we'll see you guys next time.